Olá pessoal, sejam bem-vindos a mais um novo live Q&A. Desta vez com o Andy Hendrix, The Classic Andy Hendrix. Enquanto chegam, quero-vos relembrar para passarem na loja do CTW em ctwportugal.com e também nas redes sociais do CTW, onde podem comprar estas fantásticas máscaras. Esta é a minha, podem ver. É grande, é ajustável, podem ver aqui, assim. Também é lavável, portanto é bastante útil, vocês precisam. Usem as máscaras. Passem também lá para comprar as vossas t-shirts do CTW e as toalhas também, tanto em preto como branco. E vamos só esperar que o Andy se junte a nós. Guys, welcome to this new live Q&A, this time with the classic Andy Hendrix. While you're arriving here and joining us, I want to remind you to go to our site ctw.com and order your masks, or to our social media and order these awesome masks. This one's mine. It's bigger than the previous ones and adjustable, as you can see here, washable and very comfortable. So rush and get them. There's a lot more logos from CTW and Red Eagle, etc. Rush and get as well our towels, black or white, and also our t-shirts and DVDs, where you can watch our shows and matches, including Andy Hendrix matches and his feud with Red Eagle, for example. So he just joined us. So hello, Andy.
Hello.
How are
you
you?
doing? Less of the politeness. Let's not pretend that you haven't had pretty much everybody else aside from me on up until this point. What was it last week? Big baby man, someone with a fucking rubber duck. Like, how have all these people had an invitation before you've invited the crown jewel of CTW himself? What's going on?
Decisions, man. Decisions.
Decisions.
Yeah.
I don't think it's your decisions because I know that you just get paid to look pretty and ask the questions that are like acceptable by CTW management. So I don't hold you accountable, but
Okay.
I think at some point, Red Eagle and David Curl are probably going to be watching this, so they're the ones that I really want to see this. So anything that I might express in this video, I just want to off the bat just say it's not you personally, because you're okay, even though up until this point you haven't interviewed me once, which is a disgrace. And I think anybody who sees this is going to agree with that. But I know that you're kind of you're just tied into the system. You've just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do. So can we be nice to each other?
We can be nice to each other, yeah. There's nothing but love. Well, I wouldn't say love, tolerance for you. But
okay, fair enough.
yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah.
So
So good.
let me just ask, how are you doing?
Well, I mean, it was my birthday a couple of days ago, so happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday,
Thank
yeah.
you very much. So yeah, overall, not too bad. Been hitchhiking around. I was in Spain the other day. I'm back in Portugal.
I saw you were road tripping through Portugal.
Yeah, I met a bunch of hippies and just decided to hit the road.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, pretty
Great
fun
experience. So,
Indeed.
Are you ready for this live Q&A?
I was born ready.
So let's hit it. So the first question is from Exploding Cat Memes, and he asks, why do you love to scratch in the back so much?
Damn. Well, first of all, Exploding Cat Memes is the most amazing name possibly ever. As far as like the back scratch thing, I think it really just boils down to the reaction of like who I'm in the ring with, because it's kind of like, have you ever been in a shower and you turn it on and it's just cold straight away? and like, you know, that kind of, oh, that reaction. To make your opponent, when you're in the middle of a match, make a reaction like that. And also, I don't know if you can see, but my nails aren't the best trimmed.
Mm-hmm.
This is also just a good excuse to do that. But yeah, so it inflicts a minimal amount of damage, granted, but the humiliation factor of them acting like a bitch it's priceless, quite frankly. Anything I can do to entertain myself while I'm kicking ass is
Yeah, you like to humiliate people.
Of course. We all do low key, but I'm just a bit more honest about it, I think.
Yeah, I see. The next one is from Fanekes, and they ask, favorite match so far in your career?
The one with Tamura in December springs to mind. That was pretty sweet. Didn't get the win, but I think it opened some doors. I think certainly in CTW, it was the first time that people have really got to see me in a bit more of a serious affair rather than me just acting the clown, which is something that I promise is soon to stop. But yeah, that one off the bat. I mean, there have been countless others with people. I mean, Mad Dog Max, at any time that we've had the chance, has always been pretty special. But yeah, I'd have to say right now, the one that really springs to mind is that one with Tamura, because I think it was the one that I'd probably show other people and be like, hey, this is what I'm capable of. Okay, again, I didn't get the win on that particular occasion, but when you're in there with somebody who's got 14 years of experience, you know, globally, to be able to have held my own for about 20 minutes before he finally put me away. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, it was a great match. And they can watch it if they buy our DVDs. They can watch it.
And they can. Also free on YouTube, that one as well. So if you feel like typing Andy Hendrix, yeah.
Yeah. Mike Silva says, you're the GOAT.
Well, I mean, Mike Silva has excellent taste. So for him to say that I'm the GOAT, I mean, it's pretty much irrefutable. So to everybody that's joining right now, yeah, I mean, greatest of all time. I'm certainly not shying away from that label. I think I'm the GOAT for this outfit alone, but when you see me actually in the ring, it's another thing entirely. So yeah,
you got the outfits.
Thank you much, Silva.
You got the outfits.
I certainly do.
The next one is from Salsa Dragon Force, and she asks, who's your favorite wrestler and why?
Other than myself?
Yeah, other than yourself, of course.
Okay. Honestly, I think it's a mood thing. It changes all the time. Of all time, I think just from a presentation standpoint and for historical significance, probably Ric Flair. But I don't know, right now, because I kind of fluctuate between what I enjoy watching. So at the moment, I'm on a big World of Sport kick, which I always have been. Classic British wrestling is my thing, along with NWA from the 80s, hence why Ric Flair is one of them. So right now I'm on a big, he's called Steve Wright. He wrestled as Bull Blitzer, like a German gimmick in World of Sport. But yeah, so basically I don't know if anybody's aware of Alex Wright from WCW, who's the German guy who did funky dancing. Well, basically his dad was also a wrestler, but he was an absolute tank. He was an absolute machine. He could do anything. He was a technical wizard. So I'd have to say right now, I'm on a big Steve Wright kick.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Ed Ines Silva asks, where did you get your swag from?
Just some things are just innate, you're just born with a certain amount of style, skill, charisma. And yeah, I can't really point to any particular moment in time where I was just dressed this fantastically, just acted this wonderfully. Some things just happen. Some people are blessed. What can I say? I'm one of those people.
All right. J. Henrik MN says, my guy, can't wait to see you in the NXT and WWE one day. Big up, Andy.
Yes, Henrique. Definitely going to happen, my brother. But yeah, thank you for all the love. You're not the first person to say such kind things. A couple of CGW regulars said something to me similar at one of the last shows I was at. But yeah, I know that there's, I mean, this was like really pretty much the main reason why I wanted to do this today was to kind of get to the conspiracy that I think I've been affected by. I think there have been certain incidents in CTW more recently, like, for example, what happened with me and Mario at the last show, where I've been painted as the bad guy, but I want to make it abundantly clear that I'm, in fact, the victim. And we can elaborate on a little bit later on. But
there's a question. There's a question about it.
Oh, okay. But for now, I just want to say that, yeah, like I am very flattered that there are a smattering of people such as Henrique and a few other people who recognize my talents, where I'm going to go, my potential, and the fact that, yes, indeed, I am the hero of this story. I wouldn't say, certainly not the villain, certainly not the villain at all. But yeah, proceed with your questions.
Okay. The next one is from Keith GG Fall. And he asks, why do you hate Red Eagle so much?
How long have we got?
Like 45 minutes.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I didn't always hate him. I remember me and Red, we met, I want to say about 7 years ago. So we go way back. I mean, I'm a young man. Quite terrible at math, so I can see he's commenting. He's getting all cheeky in the comments. That's disgusting. Anyway, yeah. So initially, I actually had quite a tremendous amount of respect for Red Eagle because he came into the school that I was previously training at, and he showed me a bunch of new things. He is like I am, but don't get the chance to demonstrate all that often. Very keen practitioner of technical wrestling, and he showed me a few things in the early days. But basically, as time went on, I kind of realized that the man has a tremendous ego, and above all else, he actively tries to hold other people down that he recognizes is a threat to him. So Red Eagle is painted as like the poster child of CTW. He's like the star. He's the superhero. He can do no wrong. He is Portuguese wrestling, blah, blah, blah. I've heard it so much. And basically, I'm just here to make it abundantly clear that from the outset of me being invited and having my first tour in Portugal, which, as you know, ultimately led to me moving here, and I think it's undeniable at this point, proving myself to be the biggest star in Portuguese wrestling today, despite the fact that I'm not Portuguese, despite the fact that I have no intention of speaking your, quite frankly, filthy language. There's nobody that can. Hey, I'm just spitting facts. I'm just spitting facts. Again, I don't want any of this to insult you personally, because again, you just get paid to ask the generic questions. This isn't about you. This is just my personal opinion. The reason I hate Red Eagle is because he is just a facade, and repeatedly he has held me down and stopped me from being the star that everybody, be it the fans, especially the fans, but also the boys in the back, anybody who's ever stepped onto that green canvas knows that nobody can touch me. If I want to make the crowd laugh, if I want to make them cry, if I want to have a technical masterpiece, if I want to have a brawl, there's nothing that I can't do. And frankly, that upsets some people. So between me and Red, I think more than anything at this point, it's just a matter of jealousy on his behalf. And jealousy is the ugliest emotion of all. He himself is tremendously ugly. Why do you think he wears a mask? End of story.
Okay, let's leave it at that and wait if he has a response for it.
If he has a response, the only response I really need from him is for him to step up to me like a man, which he hasn't done in forever. It's been a minute since we had a match. Okay, admittedly, last time that we actually did go one-on-one, he won. But how did he win, Laura? Do you remember? Do you remember? I'll tell you how he won. by powerbombing me through a table on the outside of the ring, causing me to have a concussion. I was damn near passed out, and then he managed to get the cheap victory. Real men, especially people who pride themselves on this technical wrestling ability, don't need to resort to such underhand tactics as that. So
Yeah, but you hit his father. You kicked his father.
okay, but if you actually followed along as much as you should, because at the end of the day they're paying your bills, you'd remember that the last time that we had a match was before I attacked his father.
Yeah,
And if
yeah,
you
but
want to get into
still, you
the,
paid him back like that. It's not fair. It's not fair.
I sense a bit of bias, Laura. Come on, you're meant to be objectionable. Again, I understand you're on their payroll. I understand that you get paid to basically just ask the generic questions. That's why you had Big Baby Man on before me. That's why you had the guy who dresses like an ant. I'm pretty sure that Curtis Simmons, that rock star chap, has been on before me. A-Book. I mean, we haven't seen A-Book in a CTW ring for like, what, 3 years at least? And yet he got an opportunity before me. You can't deny the fact that at this point there's a conspiracy against me. Why do you think there's no like Andy Hendrix merch at the tables? It's because they're actively trying to suppress me from being the star that they know that I am. Because nobody else on the CTW roster, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of talented people, a lot. Nelson, Cloudy. We're seeing Curtis Simmons around more. I wouldn't say he's a regular, but he's a well traveled wrestler, and he's on our shows more often now. Fantastic wrestler, but these people will get more exposure than me. And why? You've got to ask yourself why, Laura. Come on, you're an intelligent girl, and you know why. The reason is because they can't handle the fact that a cheeky British boy moved from Birmingham, set up shop here in Portugal, and I'm already the hottest thing that's ever been on their show. In fact, I brought more people, fresh eyes, to this product than anybody else. I've sold more tickets to people that had never been to a CTW show before into the building, and that is irrefutable. Next question.
Well, Kurt Simmons is saying you're your own enemy, Andy.
I knew we were going to get to this point. I knew that Curtis was going to join the chat and he was going to get a little bit cheeky. So I'll just set the record straight because it's pretty well established. Obviously, everything's happened with COVID. Everything happened with Corona. Before this disaster unfolded, me, Curtis, and little Nelson were meant to have a cheeky little triple threat match. And that would have been the first time. I've wrestled Nelson before. I've beat Nelson before. Whatever. I'd have been happier, quite frankly, if it was just me and Curtis one-on-one. And here's why. Kurt is a fantastic wrestler. I'll never take anything away from him. At the end of the day, he's wrestled in Canada, Germany, Ireland, France. He's been everywhere. You don't get to travel the world being a professional wrestler if you're not good at professional wrestling. It just stands to reason. But I'll say this, Kurt, because I can see your little kissy face emojis as we speak. Here's the fact of the matter. What really breaks my heart is that you consider yourself to be this heartthrob, rock star type. All the ladies want me. Oh, look at my blue eyes. Look at my long blonde hair. At the end of the day, Kurt, just stick to what you're good at. And what you're good at is doing a couple of arm drags, doing a hip toss, slapping on a cheeky wrist lock now and then ultimately getting beat by the person that's in the ring with you. And if it was to come down to me and you, make no mistake about it, I'm the one who's going to come out on top. As far as rockstar personalities are concerned, you've seen the way I've dressed. If you see me with the ladies, goddamn, it is rockstar persona turned up to 1,000,000. You are a pale, quite literally, a pale imitation of me. So by all means, send your cheeky little questions. Send your little cheeky kissy emojis. There you go. I'll send one back. But at the end of the day, when it comes to one-on-one, it's just pure jealousy on your behalf. And for that reason alone, that's as much as I'm going to elaborate, because I understand jealousy is an ugly, ugly emotion. And I mean, if you're talking me compared to you. I mean, ugly is definitely a word that I'd use to describe you. So, again, next question.
Next question is from Mr. Kwanzaa, and he is asking, what has changed in Andy since we saw him last?
What has changed in me? Good question. Because there is actually quite a lot. Because again, with this whole COVID situation, it's given me, as well as everybody, I guess, but certainly me, a lot of time to kind of reflect. I think for me, the thing that's changed the most is recognizing how temperamental the business that we all love is. I mean, ultimately, it's fantastic that we can do this and we can still engage with an audience in some way. But the harsh reality is that live performance of any description, be it music, be it professional wrestling, etc., because of this pandemic, has ceased to a certain extent. So for me, I think the biggest thing that it's really revealed, and the thing that I intend to change when it ultimately does come back, is the fact that I just need to dial it up to 10. I'll be the first to admit that I haven't necessarily, even though I know how good I am, it's almost as if subconsciously I've been giving everybody else a chance. Red Eagle, most definitely. At the end of the day, when you consider how many times we've wrestled, not just in CCW, but just, at least within Europe, but soon to be internationally, I've definitely given him way too many opportunities to get ahead. And the reason for that, I feel like, is because I've almost sold myself short. There's not a lack of confidence. I mean, you can't dress like. Ultimately, I feel like I've just, at the last possible second, I've just kind of dropped the ball. That is not going to happen. When you see me from now on, there's still going to be the swag. There's still going to be the shit talking. There's still going to be everything that you've come to know about Hendrix. But what is going to change is the seriousness. I made it abundantly clear quite a while ago that the European Championship is the goal right now, because with that becomes tremendous opportunities. Again, harking back to Kurt, fantastic wrestler. You see the opportunities that he's had globally. The reason he's had those opportunities is because he's knocked down doors and he's won championships and he's beat opponents and he's got there. Well, now it's my time. Now it's my time to take that championship with that. Because I think of this like a game of chess, where I'm not just a pretty face. I've got a tremendous brain as well. I'll win the championship from Red Eagle, humiliate him in the process, establish myself as the man in CCW. And then when I've got said championship, I'm going to France, I'm going to Germany, Luxembourg. I'll even come to Switzerland and pay Curtis a visit. I'm going everywhere. So that's what's changed, is the mindset.
Okay. Red Eagle answered. He says he and his dad helped you move to Portugal, and that's how you pay them. And David Curl says you're in serious trouble.
See, I knew we were going to get to this point. I can see by your face, Laura, you knew it as well. Here's the thing. I know that right now Red Eagle is on a cheeky little business trip back to the UK, so we could meet up with David, so we could talk shop about when these shows eventually start running again. This is exactly what I'm talking about, and I want everybody to know straight up right now, I'm not the victim here. What I did to Mario wasn't personal to Mario. It was just a statement. I needed to attack quite literally the person who built CCW from the ground up, to establish the fact that I deserve to be the man. So when Red Eagle says I'm in big trouble, no, when David says I'm in big trouble, when Red sends his little empty threats, whatever it may be, at the end of the day, they're the head honchos. I am the underdog here, and I am the victim. So ultimately, they can say whatever they want, because next time I get the opportunity, next time there's a show, and again, I'll make sure that I'm the guy who puts all the butts in the seats. I'll tell everybody to come down, because ultimately everybody wants to see me. They certainly want to see the new and improved me. So when that happens, Red's not going to have much more to say, quite frankly. He can act the tough man when he's got to do it through Instagram Live, but face to face, I don't care how much rage is bubbling up, because he's had a couple of months to think about the fact that I kicked his dad where the sun don't shine. But at the end of the day, The result's going to be the same. Mask's coming off again, and more importantly, this time the belt's coming away from him. And David Curl, you need to just calm down, stick to ring announcing, stick to plugging merch, stick to coming out to your trashy little BBC News theme, which has been getting on my nerves for God knows how long now. It's enough. I own not just CCW, but not even just Portuguese wrestling. I own European wrestling. As soon as I get a chance to go to Japan, which I'm going to get, because Tamura, even though he beat me, was resoundingly impressed with the talent that I have. Hendrix is going global, and when that happens, people like David Curl, people like Red, they're going to recognize that all the empty threats in the world just aren't enough. So have your fun now while you can, boys, because it's my time now.
Andrew, Andy Hendrix is coming.
Absolutely. And to be honest, I'm getting to a point now where I don't even want people to refer to me by my first name anymore. It's just Hendrix now.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen my Twitter, but I'm changing up the spelling. I'm changing up everything. Basically, the reason for that is quite simple. People referring to me, because here's the thing, I get disrespected by fans while the show's on. While I'm in the ring, they're all out there talking smack, thinking they're all, I won't come out there and slap them in the face. And then after the show, what do? While I'm there in that little side room, being forced to sign autographs, which I hate doing. They're all like, oh, great show, Andy. Oh, yeah, you were our favorite. Oh, literally, they all say it. Well, enough. I'm not Andy. You don't know me as Andy, and you never will. At the end of the day, refer to me as Hendrix. Hendrix. I'm even jumbling up the spelling of Hendrix because at the end of the day, I don't want any familiarity. I don't want anybody to think that they know who I am because they don't. I'm a man, a myth, and a legend in Portuguese wrestling. So at the end of the day, no more referring to me as Andy, and that comes from you as well, Laura. Stop it.
Okay.
It's just Hendrix from now on, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
So the next one is from Jay Enrique, and he says, these bums trying to steal your swag, smack them.
Absolutely will. Again, a man of fine taste, a man who actually understands the situation here, a man who understands that there is so, here's the difficulty, and Laura, you've been there from the beginning, you've seen the people that have come and gone through the CCW doors. You'll attest as much as I will that there are some fantastic talent that have come through the doors. I am a reasonable man. You understand? I don't for a second dispute the fact that there are some tremendous wrestlers on the CCW roster who will do great things, but there's a difference between greatness and a legendary status. And right now what I'm doing is building that legendary status, which is why things like this, things like you selling my merch at halftime, instead of it just being tucked away and not even existing because of this conspiracy that David Curl, and I hope to God you're still in this live chat because you are almost directly responsible for this. You and Red Eagle, that prized possession of CCW, they are bums. Henrique's right, and they are going to get slapped up because at the end of the day, the disrespect, it's gone on long enough. I've been in tie-dye for God knows how long. I've been acting the fool. I've been scratching backs. You've seen me in the ring. You know what I'm capable of. Take the Tamura match, for example. Fantastic match. I was told afterwards, oh, that was great. That was the best match I've seen online. But yet at the same time, these same bums get to go on this same Q&A way before I do. I mean, you tell me, why was Big Baby Man and why was a guy who dresses like an ant? You said it at the beginning, but I want clarification. Are you seriously telling me that you wanted to see
Don't put me
them?
in the middle. Don't.
It's not you. I tried to say this again, and it's not you. But at the end of the day, there's a certain level of disrespect. I get a bit salty. Could you not have just said to your boss, stars? I mean, we have Andy Hendrix. Again, not Andy. You don't refer to me as Andy.
Hendrix.
I can call myself that because that's my name. But come on. At a certain point, you just got to be like, I'm the man? Come on. Laura, you're a smart girl. What's going on?
Let's go to the next one, okay? The next one. Hoje Falo Eu says, good or evil, and the Hendrix, correcting him, Hendrix, is so good. The CTW ring shines anytime you are in it. Very bad what you did to Mario, though.
Okay, well, the first bit is obviously very true, and for that I appreciate it. Yeah, it does shine. I think there's a considerable difference between anybody else being in that ring, regardless of their talent, and then you see me when I'm in there. It's just a complete different ball game. In regards to the Mario situation, I guess this is as good a time as any to kind of really explain that. Even though I've kind of already made my point, but with Mario specifically, I want to just set the record straight. There's nothing personal about him specifically. In fact, when I referenced that power bomb that I took through the table on the outside in our street fight, which I believe happened in November of last year, Mario was the one who carried me to the back. Everybody else, including you, just sat around. Yeah, Red Eagle won. Yeah, we're so happy. Yeah, 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 yeah. At the end of the day, I was concussed. I was out of it, and I needed serious medical attention. And it wasn't until Mario who I was able to kind of, wave at and flag down eventually. He was the one who took me in his arms. He was the one who was carrying me backstage. What I did to Mario at the last show, I can't say that I did it with complete glee, but it needed to be done because at the end of the day, business is business. He built CCW quite literally from the ground up. He welded an entire ring. It wasn't even like it was a pre-made ring that was bought. He made it with his bare hands. I can't not respect the man, but what better way to send a message than to kick the literal architect of CTW in the dick? It's fantastic. What it did is it ushered in a new era. Out with the old, in with the new. I am the new. Again, you don't have to like it, but you have to recognize it. I am Portuguese wrestling now. It's just a fact. And when Mario hit the canvas, when he was down, not even on all fours, when he was just laid out, and I was over him, and I was choking the life out of him, I could see the fear in his eyes because he knew that the new guard had taken over. He knew that what him and his son had built had been taken over by the rightful heir. I am
So
the
you're
king
saying
now.
you own the CTW? You own
Of
CTW
course,
now?
of course, I own it, and the only reason that I don't have more stroke around here is because the boss that gets to say "ring the bell" at the beginning of every match, and I can see by that smile on your face that you know exactly what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, if it weren't for him coming out to his BBC News music or his Doctor Who music, I would have taken over this ship a long time ago. And everybody that works on those shows knows exactly the same thing. Claudia, Rossi, Nelson, Kurt, Matt Fox, you name it. Anybody who comes through those doors knows that ultimately the talent belongs to me. I didn't come here just like, think of this for a second. I left British wrestling, right? I left that scene far before there was any reason to do so. And the reason I did it is because I took a chance on myself. I left my friends, I left my family, I left everything that I had behind because I knew for certain that I could come here and make a difference. And the difference that I made, I've already said it, I've pulled more fresh eyes into CTW than anybody has. I single-handedly have done more to build this promotion in the last year than anybody else has. Yet I don't get the credit for it because I don't speak Portuguese, because I don't necessarily look Portuguese, because I don't act as meek and mild as Portuguese people do. Well, I say bollocks to that because I'm already, the numbers and the matches and the moments, they speak for themselves. I already own this shit. You and everybody else just needs to take a step back, take a deep breath, cry if you have to. I don't care. Just take a moment and just accept that, yeah, I do own CTW now. That's just a fact. And Mario hitting that canvas, the moment that my foot, well placed, boom, hit him where the sun don't shine. Make sure he has no more babies, no more red eagles are coming out. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all she wrote, baby. That's all she wrote. This is mine now.
So that answered the next question. That's
Psychic.
from Fabio Kea. It was, why did you attack Mario? Poor man.
Yeah,
So
I
you
think I
answered.
covered it. At the end of the day, again, I just want to reiterate, I've been to Mario's house. When I first got to Portugal, he did invite me into his home. You know, like that first, I think it was a month, maybe 2 months. I was out here. I'm not going to pretend that there weren't days where I hadn't questioned what I was doing. Like I was a bit worried at first, but at the end of the day, it's all in here. The vision was always there. I always knew what I was capable of accomplishing. And doing what I did to Mario was basically me just signifying the end of my dependency, my respect for the old guard, because it's just me now.
Okay. The big baby man said, because I don't scratch backs like a pussy.
Whoa. Coming in with that hard P word. Well, big baby man, may I just say, it's nothing personal to you. I mean, I'm sure you are a fantastic guy from what I could see last week. I mean, you and Chester, you have a beautiful relationship. But I mean, I'm an honorary Portuguese now, so one of my favorite dishes is arroz de pato. I love a bit of duck and rice. So I mean, if you and Chester come cheeky, don't think I'll hesitate to eat him. I don't care if he is rubber. I've probably eaten worse. So yeah, if we were to step between the ropes, if we were on a canvas where I create my art, you'd get shown up like the fucking baby you are in a moment. So calm it with your language, please.
Okay.
Okay.
No words needed to add. So the next one is from Mortalis, and he asks, what is your goal in CTW?
No, Mortalis. Sweet Fabio. I think you know as much as anybody what my goal is. I mean, the goal is pretty well established, and I think it's pretty well on its way to being accomplished, which is just to let everybody know that I run this shit, quite frankly. But outside of that, as I mentioned before, the European Championship is definitely in my possession. And then, of course, we have the crown jewel, which is the CTW Championship. Bit of ambiguity surrounding it now. But at the end of the day, it's the top prize in all of Portugal. So I'd be a fool to say that that's not on the cards. I haven't had as many. In fact, I'm not sure I've had a single opportunity at the belt, because at the end of the day, I respect the fact that there is healthy competition between other competitors right now. I mean, Claudia has been fighting for a chance to have it for, a year now? Let her humiliate herself a few more times trying to get the belt. Let Rossi do what he's got to do to try and claw it back. I appreciate seeing a good struggle, because at the end of the day, first opportunity I get, it's obviously coming home. It's obviously going to get strapped around my sexy waist. So I like to see other people kind of duke it out, you know what I mean? And the more they hurt each other, the less of a struggle it is for me to have to just beat their ass. So to answer your question, Mortalis, Fabio, in CTW, as I say, top guy, not even top guy, just owner. Just get rid of David Curl. That's another. I can't articulate how sick I am of him. But yeah, all of those things are basically my goal. And once I've done that, because this is the top promotion in Portugal, I will therefore be undisputably recognized as the top guy in this country. And when that happens, how can other doors not open? Before you know it, I'll be in Spain, I'll be in Germany, I'll be in the Netherlands, blah, 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 blah. I could keep going all day. But yeah, it's a chess game to me. I'm always thinking at least 3 steps ahead.
So speaking of Dave, he says he will make sure you apologize to everyone in the middle of the ring.
Dave, that is adorable. It truly is. The fact that you think that you have any kind of authority over me. I mean, I know that the rest of not only the wrestlers, but the like Lara, for example, everybody that works on the CTW roster just quakes in fear whenever they hear that whiny British accent of yours, because yeah, I'll give it to you. You have a certain way of kind of commanding respect, but I see through you, Dave. At the end of the day, you're only as good as you are good at ring announcing, and I'll tell you straight off the bat, you're not exactly the best ring announcer I've ever met. So if I can't respect your ring announcing abilities, I'm certainly not going to respect your authority as CTW management. It's just not happening. What you've got to appreciate is that in me, you've got a live wire. You've got somebody who's been around the business long enough to not feel intimidated by you. So,
Careful,
with that
he's your
being said,
boss. He's your boss.
maybe he can hit my pockets where it'll hurt, but I'll tell you off the bat, Laura, even if he completely docked my pay, even if the next time I was set to appear on a CTW show, he said, right, that's it, you're not getting paid anything, I guarantee you I would still turn up, I would still show out, I would still have the best appearance of anybody else that's on that show. And ultimately, what can Dave do? Because if he was a smart businessman, he'd recognize that eyes on the product means more than anything else. So if he wants me to apologize in the middle of the ring, whatever. I mean, I've already said it's not personal between me and Mario. I will go to Mario's house, I will lay flowers at his door, and I will say I'm sorry if that's what it takes. But ultimately, that's not what's important here. What's important is Dave recognizing that his tyrannical reign as the owner of CTW is over, because I own it now. So if anything, he should be apologizing to me. So next time there's a show, Dave, do yourself the courtesy. When I step in the ring, get down on your knees, kiss my wrestling boots, watch me put on yet another wrestling masterpiece, like I always do, and then we'll be cool.
Okay, let's just wait for him to say something.
Jesus.
Because I know he's gonna say something, because he won't let you just say that and walk away.
Of course he won't, because he's sassy and he always needs to have the last word. But trust me and him could do this all day. If there's one thing that we have in common, it's a stiff upper lip that you only get from being British. So if he wants to argue the toss back and forth, if he wants to come at me with his, his vitriol, I'm there for it. But it's irrefutable. How did he even get this job? Laura, come on. You're a smart girl. You see David Curl. You know as well as anybody who is more likely to take CTW into the future where it needs to go. David Curl with his cheesy music and his terrible ring announcing and his ring the bell, or me. Come on. You know this.
I can't say a word. I cannot say a word.
Why can you not say? Oh, okay, you're on the payroll.
I'm not paid to give my opinion. I ask people's opinions. I don't give mine.
Okay. But low key, I see a bit of subtext here.
I've ever met.
Wow. So is he just a straight liar now, or what? I mean, Dave, like, name anybody else that's come through those doors that, I mean, I don't even want to say that because I know that he will, and it will just be an exhausting, like, oh yeah, this person's so great. Dave, here's the thing. You're a money man. You're a businessman. You have seen the gate and you have dealt with the profits that every CTW show has made. Are you seriously going to act as if I haven't brought more eyes to the product, literally physically put more people in seats? I haven't done more to benefit the growth of Portuguese wrestling than anybody else that's on the show. Whether or not I'm your personal taste from a actual in-ring point of view, because I know that you love Curtis. I know that you love Claudia because she likes to kick hard and she does a lariat and she does a suplex. And oh, Nelson's great because he wears a singlet and he does a senton and he has an inhaler. And oh, great, look at all these characters. And of course, don't even get me started on your precious Red Eagle that you love so much. At the end of the day, that's all well and good. And again, I'm not refuting the fact that there is talent on the CZW roster. But Dave, for you to say that I'm not exactly the best wrestler that you've ever seen just exposes you as the ignoramus that we all know you to be. As I say, there's an undercurrent of fans that are starting to get it. And I don't need their approval. And frankly, I don't want their approval because they make me sick. But facts are facts. You can say, I'm not the best wrestler you've ever seen. But you're just lying, Dave. You're just lying because I am. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry. I'm taking over. I've taken over.
Okay. The next one is from Marcius Strongland, and he says, Red Eagle is going to destroy you.
Oh, adorable. Red Eagle is at a point now where it's not physically capable for him to destroy, I'd say, anyone, because I have it on pretty good authority that from the moment I attacked his dad to this same moment, and I hope that he's still watching this, Red Eagle's head's been a mess. It's not there anymore. At the end of the day, who else have you ever seen drag Red Eagle out of his comfort zone? Because let's give credit where it's due. Red Eagle, and I'm sure you'll agree, Laura, is a fantastic technical wrestler. When it comes to, oh boy, if you get him in a wrist lock, you best believe in 5 seconds he's going to have reversed it and knocked you on your ass. That's just the way it is. And as much as I pride myself on being a decent technical wrestler, I'll even be humble enough to admit that he is better at that aspect of the game than me. But with that being said, it's too emotional now. Do you really think he wants to trade technical holds with me after I've attacked his dad? It's just not possible. I'm in his head. I occupy free rent up here in his head. So next time he's in a ring, I know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to come all guns blazing. He's going to come out swinging.
Revenge. He wants revenge.
And I don't blame him. And I wouldn't have done what I did to Mario if I didn't think that he was going to try and exact revenge. So that's my exact point. He's not going to kick my ass because at the end of the day, he's now fighting with his heart. He's trying to defend his family's honor, whereas I, as pretty as I am, also happen to be very intelligent as well, as you can tell by my ability to string a sentence together. So with that being said, next time we're in a ring, you'll see firsthand, I'm just going to completely outclass Red Eagle, ultimately boot him in the head a bunch of times, take his title, probably rip his other mask off as well, just for the fun of it. There's no way he's going to beat my ass. It's just, at this point, it's just a physical impossibility.
Well, I low-key want to watch that match so badly because he wants revenge. He wants revenge, and you want to be the best. You say you're the best. I believe you're the best. A lot of people believe you're the best. I think everyone in CTW are the best. That's like the truth. Yeah, it's really though. It is. Don't you agree with me? Like I know you say you're the biggest, okay? But look at it this way. From the outside, with putting you like, okay, there's no way to put it because you're not gonna do that way. Okay, so forget it.
Your opinion. Let's turn this into a bit of a Laura Q&A for a second.
No. Let's not do that.
So basically, again, what we've just seen there, ladies and gentlemen, is somebody trying to take away from my claims, my accomplishment by saying everybody's the best. Yeah.
But they are. They are. I cannot put one above the other because I'm not paid to do that. I'm not paid to do that, so I cannot.
It's not possible. The other people might have participation trophies. If you're the kind of person who wants to say, "Oh, you did a great job as well," yeah, fine. If you want to protect other people's feelings, but I know firsthand, I know the truth. The truth is, I'm up here. Everybody else is slightly below. And I'm not saying they're not talented because I know that they are. And I know that they'll go places, but they'll go places after I've already been there, after I've already trod that ground. I am the trailblazer. That's all I'm saying. I'm just going to be the first to do the damn thing. Of course,
for you, you're going to always put yourself first and on top. So I can't argue with that.
Pretty not to. Come on.
I can't argue with that. So, look, we have a lot of questions left. So, but we're running out of time. So let's do one more. Okay.
All right.
And I hope to get you another time to do another live Q&A because I enjoyed a lot. So the next and last question is from Kurt Simmons. And he asked, how does it feel to pretend to own a place yet having the Swiss rock star having his Q&A before yours? Stay mad, so I'll be sure to beat you when you bring your best when our match finally happens.
I feel like I've already given Curtis way more attention than he really deserves, but I'll say this. I'll end on this note. Kurt is a perfect example of the kind of caliber wrestler, professional wrestler that CTW brings in. People that haven't necessarily broke on to the global platform, but in a couple of years are going to be the talk of the town, are going to be people that everybody says, I saw him before he was this and that and this. He was about to go to Japan before this disaster struck. From a talent perspective, I have nothing negative to say about him. But facts being facts, we were going to wrestle before Corona hit. And it's a blessing for him that it didn't happen, because I would have exposed him and humiliated him in front of the entire world. And that's just the way it is. Again, I think his rockstar persona is a little bit overblown. I think he could probably do with taking a page out of my book, dress a little bit better, talk a little bit smarter, look as pretty as I do, and maybe you'll be half the rock star in a couple of years that I already am. At the moment, what you've got is an adorable gimmick, but make no mistake about it, it is just that. It's a gimmick. If you want to talk rock stars, that is my life. They don't call me Hendrix for nothing. That's not just some random moniker. That came out of years of me living a lifestyle. I've proved myself. And if we're going to talk great professional wrestlers again, I'm not taking anything away from you, but Kurt, when this pandemic's over, when CZW shows start again, I pray that you're the first person outside of Red, because, as I say, Red's going to get his because he's too emotional. If anything, Red would be smart to calm down a little bit and take a little bit more time before he decides to act. Before we show down again, and before I take the European title off Red, I'd be quite interested to have my next match against Kurt, just so I can slap him about the place, just so I can show him what's up. So I'm glad that you were the last question, because at the end of the day, yeah, any exposure that you want, you're only going to get through me, because you're just a quite literal pale imitation of what I am. So Kurt, thank you again, my friend. See you soon.
So I'm so sorry you had to cut from here, but we're running out of time. We have like 2 minutes. So hope to get you another time to ask these questions, and hopefully have more. And I hope you enjoyed as much as I did this live Q&A.
I mean, I did enjoy it, Lara, but again, the fact that I wasn't invited on sooner does hurt my feelings. I think the fact that there is still more questions proves that I am everything that I've already said that I am. So yeah, you need to do a part two. When else in the history of this Q&A with CTW has there ever been a need to do a part two? Probably never. So with that being said, come on, you just know the truth already. It's so obvious. It's so obvious, but whatever.
Okay, thank you so much for being here with us. Hope to see you soon. Hope you stay safe. And,
Always.
okay, so bye, Hendrix. Bye, Andy.
Thank you.
Hendrix,
Well
sorry.
remembered. Yeah.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. So we came to an end with this live Q&A with Hendrix, the classic Hendrix. The next live Q&A will be Saturday, 9 p.m. with Lobo Ibérico. The famous Lobo Ibérico will be here with us next Saturday, 9 p.m. Don't forget, go to our website to get these masks, the t-shirts, towels, and also DVDs. Please support support CTW, support our wrestlers, and yeah, that's all. Pessoal, chegamos ao fim de mais um live Q&A, desta vez com o Classic Hendrix. O próximo live Q&A vai ser no próximo sábado às 9 da noite com o grande Lobo Ibérico, que vai estar connosco pela primeira vez no live Q&A.